Cangene wants to recognize and thank the thousands of plasma donors who have given their time and commitment over the past 40 years. These extraordinary people are making a real difference in the lives of others every day.
My first 2 pregnancies, I lost both of those. The third pregnancy is when I found out that I had Rh negative blood. The very last pregnancy I had was an emergency cesarean because they noticed problems with the baby and they wanted to deliver her probably before there would be any other problems, but she didn't live. To see a little tiny baby with all those tubes and all those things in them, it's frightening for a mother.
The mom typically has Rh negative blood, and the fetus has an Rh positive blood. And so what that really means is the mom recognizes the fetal blood as being foreign and produces antibodies against it, and ultimately, if it's not treated, can lead to the death of the fetus. Our story comes back to the early days with our medical researchers, Dr. Bruce Chown and Dr. John Bowman, who in the 50s did a lot of research for hemolytic disease in the newborn, and ultimately, after 25 years, really led to the clinical development of our Winro product.
All my daughters are positive, and after the last one, she was very sick. She needed a lot of exchange transfusions, and I was told not to have any more children. So I decided at age 29 to have a tubal ligation and make sure I had no more children, and Dr. Bowman at the time had written the letter saying that my chance of having a living child was just about nil. So that's why they passed me having the surgery, and then his assistant came to take blood from me and told me about the program, and I've been on it ever since.
There's no doubt in my mind that a product like Winro has saved thousands of lives in Canada, in North America.
You still can't make these products synthetically. You really need people to actually produce the antibodies.
What we do here is we collect plasma, and that's different from whole blood in that in plasma donation, we actually give the patient back their red blood cells. Because we do that, patients can donate more frequently. They can donate plasma twice a week versus whole blood, which you only can donate once every 8 weeks.
After plasmapheresis, the bottles come back to the lab, and we verify all the information on the bottle to make sure that it's correct against the donor information. Then from there, samples are drawn from the plasma for testing. It's sent out to make sure that the plasma doesn't have any infectious diseases. After that, the bottles are sealed up and they're put in the freezer for storage until the test results come back. Every few weeks, we ship out a shipment to our corporate office for manufacturing.
We get the plasma from the plasma centers, and it's shipped under very tight controlled conditions because it has to be kept very, very cold, and typically our freezers are much lower than minus 20 degrees Celsius, and we bring it into our facility. We treat each one like liquid gold.
There is a lot that goes into trying to assure the quality of the finished product that we make. It starts right from the donor and in screening them to make sure that they are as healthy as they can be to produce the best product that we can, as well as the components that we use in process here.
Cangene has continued to do ongoing research in other aspects as well, and currently we are one of the world leaders in doing research for products that can be used against bioterrorism.
We have our RH program, the Anti-D, where we take people who already have the anti-D antibody, take their plasma to make the medications to help pregnant women and babies. We have a program where people who are Rh negative that do not have the antibody, we can stimulate their bodies to produce the antibody, get them into the program. We also have a hepatitis B program to make hepatitis B immune globulin, which is given to people who may be exposed to hepatitis B, particularly EMTs, physicians, and nurses who have blood exposure to hepatitis B virus. And then we, of course, have our anthrax program. They donate their plasma. That plasma is then used to make medication to give to people who are exposed to anthrax disease.
I got the anthrax vaccination while I was a Marine. I have it in my blood, so why don't I do something with it and help some more?
I guess a lot of people after 9/11 felt this great surge in patriotism, and at that time only one of my family members was active duty. Since then another one has become active duty, and they're doing their part. This is a way that I can do my part and encourage others to do their part. Not everyone can go and join the service, but this is a way that you can help people.
The idea that we can harness this and, draw out their plasma and use it to make other medicines is incredible.
One of the great things that happens is that you are kind of well taken care of. You're almost getting sort of like a physical every day or a blood test every week.
Typically in a day I'll see anywhere from 8 to 12 new donors who come in, and they have to go through a rigorous pre-certification process. And once they pass that, then I see them, I ask them a number of health history questions and do a physical examination on them. What I find most gratifying about this job is the commitment from the donors, that these people come in twice a week. We've had some donors coming in for over 20 years. They come in on a regular basis, get stuck with a needle, and yet they do it with a smile on their face and know that they're doing something good for somebody else.
When I found out that because of losing these 5 children and because of the 8 pregnancies I had that built up the antibodies, that this was something good that my body manufactured. And it made me feel good because I know that other people won't have the same sadness.
When I first started, it was exciting to know that you were helping somebody, like saving babies' lives.
I've been donating almost 40 years. It'll be 40 years next year. I've got about 1,200 donations, maybe more, I'm not quite sure.
I've been doing it for 39 years, once a week, whenever possible, unless I'm away. And I'm doing it to help other ladies that have been in the same situation I have been. So, and I felt doing this was great. I feel good about doing it, so why not? I'm healthy.
You start tracking millions of vials of this being shipped around the world, and you start to think, well, visualizing how many people that is that are actually benefiting from products like this. It's huge.
I have children that maybe they might need something, or my great-grandkids, and that's why I do it. I do it to help.
Someone asked me how long I would do this, and if they let me, I'll do this for the rest of my life if I can continue to help people.